Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Mosballin, and thank you to Twitch. I actually have to do a voiceover. They basically muted my favorite video that I made. My most asked for question is, how do you increase your collector level? If you guys don't know, I already have Chris Webber. So people always ask me, how do we get ourselves AK? How do we get ourselves 250 tokens? Because once this AK is probably the best card in the game right now. So if you guys actually want to know the best method to grind out these collector levels to get these cards that you need or want, let me just talk to you guys through it, tell you guys when you should be buying these cards. And honestly, from 1250 cards to 1750, you only get 100 KMT. So a lot of people, I've been telling, if you don't want the pink diamonds and galaxy opals after that, then don't go after AK. When you get AK, sell your way back down. Don't go any more further, because that 100k grind that you're gonna be doing for those 500 cards really ain't worth it. So honestly, I'm really upset because the way I talked through this the first time was so amazing. The video's regular sound is gonna come back when it's more important, I guess, thank God, or else I would have had to re-record it. So this is just the intro part. I do have Chris Webber, so you guys can see here I'm on my way to J.R. Smith. My Chris Webber gameplay was done yesterday, even though I had him for over like a month now. So I'm pretty close to JR. I don't know what I'm doing with that, but I'm gonna keep grinding for it. I'm gonna show you guys basically all the methods right now. So let's talk about when you should be buying cards, when you should not be buying cards, what cards you do need. So obviously you need the 19 NBA current NBA collection, right? You need all these cards, all these amazing, beautiful cards that you probably don't even use anymore. So you don't need to lock these in. The only reason you would ever need to lock these in is if you were going for wilt. If you were actually going token grinding, that's the only excuse you should have to lock in these current NBA collection for these heat checks. So some of them are really expensive, some of them are not. Try to get the cheap ones. There's a lot of bronzes out there, there's some golds out there in the regular NBA collection that are really cheap. Some of these cards are more expensive, so these are definitely for tokens. Don't do these for collector levels unless you really have to. You can actually get through a lot of collector levels without doing any of this. Get all the cheap cards though, so if you find bronzes for 800, 900, that's a W. You're getting a card for that price. Then you have all these moments cards. They dropped a lot of really bad moments cards. I think Brook might be worth a little bit because he's a good card, but there's some moments cards that really aren't worth anything. Some of the other moments go for a lot, so don't get all the moments. Throwback cards go for pretty cheap when they first come out. The emeralds and the sapphires go cheap when they first come out. Same with the golds. You could get them all pretty cheap. Do that for sure. Now, the real thing that's gonna really bring up your collector level, I collected over 800 cards in maybe 2 hours. So now I can't show you this, but I'm gonna basically talk to you guys how I did this back in the day, and that's just through uniforms. So I have every uniform in the game. We're gonna do quick math, nothing complicated whatsoever. You can see some teams have 19, some teams have 15, some teams have 14. There's teams that have a lot of jerseys. The smallest you have is an 8 and an 8. There's a couple 10s. There's a 24 jerseys in the Knicks collection. Like, that's insane. Now what we're gonna do is, like, just quick math real quick. There's 30 teams. Imagine they all have 10 jerseys. It's just 10. That's 300 cards. And as you guys can see, there's teams with 18, 16, 15, 20. So you want all of these uniforms. When's the best time to buy uniforms? Very simple. How do you do the uniforms? Very simple. What we're gonna do is, well, what we know is the packs just came out. People pull these packs. Whenever really good cards come out, packs are being pulled. People are pulling jerseys, people are pulling logos, people are pulling playbooks, things that they don't want that they're gonna sell in the auction house for cheap. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take advantage of this. So we're gonna go into our auctions. We're gonna search auction house real quick. We're gonna go straight into our home jerseys. Now the cool thing that this does, before you used to have to write down stuff, you gotta keep in track. So what I do actually is I do keep a pen and paper near me, just for one thing and one thing only. I'm gonna basically show you guys cheat codes for how I did this, the fastest, most reliable, so you don't mess up, buy same cards twice, all that good stuff. So you're gonna go to home jerseys, you're gonna go to 76ers. Now put yourself a limit. Cards just came out. My limit at the time was 750. You can actually start it even cheaper, especially when cards come out. So we'll go through it. We're gonna go with 500. There's none up for 500. The 76ers are tough to buy for 500. So let's go with 750. Now we're gonna scroll through, and basically you're gonna see a lot of jerseys pop up. That yellow means that I already have it. Now you're gonna have a lot of ones that don't have the yellow already there. So you're gonna go through it, see which ones you don't have. find the cheapest one. You'll find some for 700, you'll find some for 650, all that good stuff. Write down real quick, because what you're gonna forget, you're honestly gonna forget when you scroll through some of these. So I'm gonna buy a 9707 one. I'm gonna click buy, and I'm gonna just write real quick 9707. So when I scroll through more, I don't buy the same one over again. I just glance down, I see, oh, I already bought this one. See, there's 650s as you go down. Buy the cheap ones, the 600, stuff like that. Now when you're done with that, you're gonna go to away jerseys, do the same thing. So look, there's 4 jerseys right there for 750. 4 different jerseys. Me, I have them all. You might not have them all. 750, 750, 750. You just spent 3K, bought yourself 4 cards towards your collector level. Next up, we're just gonna switch to bucks. You can keep it as a way, do the same thing. Bang. You could lower, higher your MT if you want to spend 1K, if you want to spend less. So some of them are not gonna pop up for 750. So a good thing that I was doing, I'll show you guys that now. I basically just kept doing the same thing. Team home / away, home, away. And then by the time I made it all the way through to the other side, like, because there's 30 teams, you're gonna do home and away. That's 60 different filters you're swiping through. When I'm done, you could actually restart, go back to 76ers, and there's gonna be new cards there, because it takes you about 10-15 minutes. It's a live auction house. You catch the cards at the end of the auction. It's beautiful. So after you do all that, like I said, there's so many cards. I think I bought like 400 jerseys just doing this, like in one sitting, just scrolling through. Away, home, like I said, fix your things if you want to pay a little more. Now another thing you got to realize is that there are a lot of arenas, there are a lot of playbooks, there are a lot of logos, there's balls that you could collect. And what I always do is I just look in my collection, so I know what I can collect, what I can't collect. So the arenas, a lot of these are glitched, so I'm going to show you guys how you can find them, because people tell me, oh, I can't find this Knicks arena, oh, I can't find this Toronto arena. Like, I don't find it, it's not there. Some of them are glitched, so I'm going to show you how to find those right now. Playbooks, some of these playbooks are really expensive. There's some playbooks for 10K. You don't want to buy them all, so buy what you can afford. What you cannot afford, just keep it to the side. I bought all the coaches except the 2 I can't really afford. I can't afford a Steve Kerr or Popovich. Sometimes you don't want to spend all that MT at once, but these are all really cheap. You could find them like pretty much at like the cheapest cost ever when cards come out. So do that. You got all these balls that you can basically collect. Once you collect all of them, like you collect a set, you can actually recover a gold ball, so that's another card added to your collection. Lock these in, make sure you lock them all in. You get a silver ball for this one, get a bronze ball, and then when you collect all these balls, you go into your where is it, the rewards, and you have these balls that you get from domination, right? You get all these balls from domination. When you collect them, you get camo balls as well, so you basically lock those in, and I keep backing out for some reason. But then when you collect all those balls, the blue for the east, the west, you get, that's literally just a bunch of random balls that don't cost anything. You get a disco ball, that's another collector level, things that people don't really notice. There's jerseys in here. Remember that there's jerseys. These you mostly get from domination, so lock these in. For tokens, so you get these from domination. If you can't find them, you gotta finish through your domination. You got logos, you get these from domination as well, I'm pretty sure. The arenas, these are a lot of cards that count. People always ask you what cards count, what cards don't count towards your collector levels. Shoes do not count, so make sure you don't worry about shoes whatsoever. Contracts don't count, injury cards do not count. Everything else pretty much counts, even your Myteam card. So get your career card, get your 2 cards for creating logos. From there you have city jerseys. Some of these city jerseys go for a lot, some of them don't. Just keep scrolling through here to see what you can and cannot get. There's some free agent cards. So now this is how I got Chris Webber. I have a couple free agent cards, so I'm gonna show you guys how to get the free agents. You're gonna basically need all of these if you want Giannis. If you want Giannis one day, you're gonna have to go through all of this struggle, which you get from schedule mode. So I don't recommend this. This is probably the last thing you gotta do. Like if you need like 3 more cards and you don't want to spend a lot of MT, go through the, pretty much you gotta go through the schedule modes. Some of these promos are expensive. There are some that are cheap. Sometimes you could find like some of these emeralds kind of cheap, these sapphires. So keep that in mind. I think these rubies like Grant Hill doesn't go for too much. It all depends on the day, how the market is feeling. So keep an eye on all of that. But definitely the way you're getting through collector levels is all these jerseys. Like I'll do the math later. I'll put it up on the graphic on the screen. That's how many jerseys there are total. I have every single one. Without them, I don't have anywhere close to Chris Webber, which is pretty insane. So make sure you get all of that. Another thing I have is I have all the rewards. So if you're basically done with tokens, which I'm sure a lot of you guys aren't, I'm basically collecting all the cards from the Sapphire market, the Ruby market, and the Emerald market. You probably don't have to do that. Focus on the other rewards in the token market. Basically get the cheap golds. There's a lot of golds in here, very cheap. Bronzes are pretty cheap. Silvers, stay away from them if you can. If you can snipe them, snipe them. The auction house is very easy to work on days that there are content out. When there's content out, people are pulling packs, they're throwing stuff up for free. Me, for example, I have a bunch of jerseys. Sometimes I throw them up for 600, 700, 500, 400. Sometimes I just chuck them up because I don't want to go through to see how much they're worth. I just put them up there when I pull packs. But sometimes I sit on them, so just when packs are out, that's the best time to do it. That's all I could really tell you. I hope this was helpful. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We're actually about to hit 2.8K, which is insane. So if any of your friends need help with the collector levels, I hope this was helpful in any way. I'll see you guys later. It's been your boy Mosballin, and Ballin out. That was so cringe that I hate y'all. I hate every single one of you for being here. It's all gamers' fault. I was gonna record that offline. Just remember that.